Have you ever stopped to think that your greatest triumphs might actually be your greatest tests? So, we're going to dive into this really powerful story from the Bible today. It's about a king. His name was Hezekiah. And his story, man, it's such a fascinating look at this surprising link between huge success, the kind of hidden danger of pride that can come with it, and, well, the incredible power of humility to set things right. I mean, that's a weird question, right? We spend so much time and energy getting ready for hard times, bracing ourselves for failure. But what if the real test of who we are isn't found in those low moments, but on the peaks? This story really suggests that success, it can be this quiet but super profound test of what's really going on inside our hearts. Okay, so let's really unpack the story of King Hezekiah. I mean, from everything we read, this was a man who genuinely loved God. But, and this is the key, his biggest spiritual test didn't come from some invading army. No, it came from what happened after he got his greatest blessings. I mean, just think about it in your own life. When things get tough, what do? We tend to lean on God. We ask for his help, right? But when everything's going great, we're successful, we're healthy, life is good, it is so easy to start leaning on ourselves. And what the Bible makes really clear is that God cares about more than just our actions. He's deeply concerned with the actual condition of our hearts. All right, let's jump into the first big lesson we can pull from Hezekiah's life. And it's this: how pride can sneak in, often totally unseen, right on the heels of a huge blessing. Okay, so here's the scene. You've got King Hezekiah, and he's staring down a terminal illness. Then, boom, God miraculously heals him. And if that wasn't enough, God then showers him with incredible wealth and honor. But here's the twist. Pay attention to what happens next. The Bible says his heart became proud. Right there, in that moment of victory and safety, he completely forgot to credit the one who gave him everything. And this right here is such a crucial point. We tend to think pride comes from, our own accomplishments, the things we do. But this story is a huge warning about something way more sneaky. It's telling us that pride often starts to grow right after God delivers us, right after he blesses us. It's a real wake-up call for anyone who's enjoying a season of success. So why should this matter to you and me? Well, because it's just how we're wired, isn't it? When things are hard, our spiritual antennas are way up. But when life is just cruising along smoothly, it is so easy to let our guard down. And that's the danger point. A blessing turns into a spiritual hazard the very second it makes us trust in the gift instead of the giver. But Hezekiah's story doesn't just end there in pride. Not at all. In fact, this is where things get really good. So what happens when he finally realizes his mistake? Let's get to the turning point and the second huge lesson here. This right here, this is the pivot point. Everything changes in this moment. Hezekiah sees it. He recognizes the pride that's taken root in his heart. And his response? It's immediate. It's total. He humbles himself. He doesn't make excuses. He doesn't try to explain it away. He just repents. And that one act, that is the cure for his spiritual illness. And look at how clearly the two paths are laid out from that one moment. On one side, you've got the prideful heart. It forgets God, it shuts itself down, and it basically invites God's wrath. But on the other side, you've got the humble heart. It remembers, it gives glory back to God, and that path leads straight to mercy and restoration. Hezekiah was standing right there, at that fork in the road, and the choice he made changed everything. And here is the incredible result of that choice. God's reaction to Hezekiah's humility wasn't to punish him, but to pardon him. That wrath that the verse talks about, the rightful consequence for turning your back on God, it was held back. This just goes to show that humbling ourselves literally have the power to change the outcome, to invite grace right into a situation where judgment was deserved. And the big takeaway for us here is just so freeing. What this story shows us is that the goal isn't to have a perfect record. God is not sitting up there waiting for us to be flawless. No, what he's looking for is a humble heart. A heart that's just honest enough to say, yep, that's pride, and is willing to turn back. That's the kind of heart God meets with grace and restoration, every single time. Okay, so this is all great, but how do we actually apply these lessons from Hezekiah to our own lives? Let's break it down into some really practical steps for building a humble heart, especially when things are going well. First step, let's talk about playing defense against pride. This has to be proactive, right? So step 1, gratitude. Make it a real habit to thank God for his blessings constantly. Step 2, ask for a heart check. Literally ask God to search your heart and show you any pride that's hiding in there. And step 3, stay dependent. You have to consciously choose to rely on Him, especially in those moments when you feel the most strong and capable on your own.
So that's defense. But what do you do when you actually find pride in your heart? This is the responsive part. Step 1, confess it. And fast. Just like Hezekiah did, don't wait. Step 2, practice giving the glory away. Actively and intentionally give the credit for your successes back to God. And finally, step 3, trust. You have to trust that God isn't mad at you for confessing. He actually delights in a heart that's willing to turn back to Him.
You know, this simple prayer really sums up the whole attitude, doesn't it? It's basically asking, God, guard my heart from pride, especially when things are good, and teach me how to walk humbly before you, always making sure you get the glory. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this right here. It's not our strength, it's not our success, and it's definitely not our perfection that connects us to God's grace. It is our humility. Humility is the key that swings open the door to His mercy and restoration. So let's leave you with this question to think about. I mean, really think about your life right now. Maybe it's a recent win at work, or a character trait you're proud of, or a great relationship. What's just one area of success where you can make a point to intentionally practice humility and give the glory back to God this week?